Hey, hey, what's up, baby? Coolin'. So we in Third Ward, this Floyd neighborhood here.
It's been a year since Trae Tha Truth heard the news about his friend George Floyd's death. Today, he's helping to open up a computer center in the housing project where Floyd lived growing up.
The good thing is doing good stuff in his name, you know what I'm saying? That takes away from people having to only think of that video.
It used to be that most people knew Trae for what made him famous. His 2-decade-plus career as a rap artist.
Now bless him like someone who sneezed, and I'm only here to give him pressure, bitch, picture me squeeze against the world like I was pop with nobody believed.
But over the past year, you're more likely to have seen him on the front lines at protests.
You got Sandra Bland family out here, Tatiana Jefferson, Breonna Taylor. And we've been on front line for so many of them, man. I feel like this situation is no different.
I first met Trae just before George Floyd's funeral.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I think this entire situation is showing a lot of people are scared of what comes next.
I think what's happening is that fear is starting to wash away. That's why you're seeing a lot more people stand up. I feel like right now, in this day and life, that cycle is at a point where it's changing. And that's why I say this is the start.
Over the past year, Trae's been all over the country. He's been back and forth to Minneapolis to stand with members of the Floyd family during the investigation and court case surrounding Floyd's murder.
Find the defendant guilty.
He even moved temporarily to Louisville in support of Breonna Taylor's family. Which sometimes meant getting arrested with other protesters. You've been there for other family members.
Always. You gotta understand, man, when these cameras leave, they by themselves. They go back to reality of hurting. So it just always had to be genuine with me. And I always had to do what I can, however I can.
Was George Floyd being killed make you feel like that was even more pressing?
For me, with him, it was personal because you killed our homeboy. And we had to watch it. We couldn't help him. We couldn't spit at you. We couldn't do nothing to distract you to get off of him. We had to watch him die by himself with none of us there. That is a very uncomfortable feeling. That would be like watching one of my brothers or any other one of my relatives get murdered. So now we coming with a vengeance. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna make sure you understand how we feel.
You volunteered with Floyd.
Floyd used to come wherever I was at. Like, whether I'm doing community, we may do some concerts, whether I'm being honored, he would always be there. I've been through some real tough times when everybody gave up and he didn't. He stayed there with me.
He told you that, we're gonna change the world.
He definitely did. He always felt there was something special in general. And he used to feel like it was something special about me all the time, and he would let people know that.
What do you think when he said that to you?
I don't think it really registered. It registers now. I don't think he necessarily knew what would come about with me as well as I didn't know what would come about with him. So it may have been placed on his heart from God that we both would change in different ways. Of course, I wouldn't want his way to be the way that he had to leave, but I understand the things that happened was a form of him now creating a new option, a new path for us.
But that path still includes music. A few weeks ago, he dropped a music video called Protect Our Women, featuring mothers of Black people who've been killed by police. And earlier this year, he released an entire album full of songs that speak to the movement.
Might get killed for being black, no longer state of a shock. Too many names to keep account, like when the hell is gonna stop.
Say his name. Say his name. Say his name.
You have in your lyrics about, there's so many names, you can't even count these, right? This is something that I've felt, a lot of people have felt. It's another name, damn, it's another name. Now, you need to get out and talk about that. Sing about it, rap about it. That's gonna be a whole nother level.
So I have to correct you just a little, because it's not, rap about it is the least of the thing. For me, it's more action than anything. The rap about part come about it because that's a form of us venting, those are our ghetto stories that have to be spoke up on, you know, and bring people to reality. Rap was probably the last thing I did when it came to this, because I was on the front line instantly, you know what I'm saying? The rap just played its part in it, because you do have some people that only really understand or register through music.
Especially over the last year. I mean, I think anybody who's watching the news has probably seen you and maybe not realize you're a musician.
Definitely don't realize I'm a musician. But it used to bother me about them not knowing the music side, but it doesn't bother me as much now, because I feel like it still come around full circle, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, I don't really think about it, bro. I just do what I do.
In the last year, do you think music has changed?
I think it's getting back to reality rap, because, you know, people make big records all the time, but some of the records that resonate a lot more is the pain, the reality of going through some stuff.
I even feel like that stuff you were saying to me last year, you took that concept, made a whole album out of it.
Yeah.
Right? If you're scared, stay inside. I mean, even time-wise, I mean, how long did it take you to make that album?
Day and a half. So,
you made a full-on album in a day and a half.
You could say 2 days max, a day and a half, yeah. Had my engineer come in, stay at the house with me. I was living that in Kentucky, and hit go.
Because that's the only time you can find in between everything else you're doing?
I had to make it work.
How do you balance what you're doing out in the community with the music?
I don't know, man. My music always been a form of just me venting whatever I'm feeling and going through. And I go through all kinds of things, whether it be community, music, streets, frontline, whatever it may be.
You had already been involved in philanthropy for years.
I hate them titles, man.
I've heard this. I've heard that you really don't like. I've heard if I talk to Trae, don't say he's an activist.
I'm not an activist, I'm not a philanthropist. It's not really a title for me. I'm just being me. I've been this before people even came up with titles for the type of stuff we do. I always been the type that just stand for what I stand for. And I just don't want to be put in a box, man. You know, like, I learned how to not jeopardize my character and what I stand for in the process, and still be me and do everything that I do comfortably. I don't have to, I can walk in the room to save someone with diamonds in my mouth, tattoos everywhere. Maybe have on a muscle shirt, maybe have on whatever. Nobody looks at me no different. They accept me for me.
Do you think it's important that people like you are doing that?
For me, I think yes, because I inspire, and I'm only creating a path for others to move the same way I move. You know what I'm saying? Because at one point in time, it wasn't the cool thing to go help people or give back. That wasn't even the thought process of an entertainer or anybody else. But I show people you can do that and you can be you.
A couple weeks back, Billboard announced they'd be giving Trae an award for his work inside and outside the studio.
You got an award today? And you're out here at a rally.
Yeah, this is more important, frontline. Always. When I talked to them earlier, they understood. I told them this is more important right now. You know what I'm saying? I have to be there for the people.
Is there a point where you say, look, I need a break, I need a rest?
Nah, I'm a different type of machine. When I'm not on the front line, I don't feel comfortable.
I heard Slim Thug say that you're making it hard for other rappers because everybody thinks they need to be superheroes now.
Well, you know, I've always been a leader, so I set the trend. Every street cat across the globe is doing the exact same thing I'm doing now. We are supposed to take care of people. We're supposed to take care of our hood. It don't make us less of a man. If anything, it make us more respected, because that's what's really gangster. Taking care of your people, providing a way for them, you know what I'm saying? That's important.